Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for being here. So we're gonna start diving deeper into the meat and potatoes of this book. We're gonna go into what I believe first and foremost, just so we can clear the air and do a little bit of housekeeping going forward. Okay, so what I believe is I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in angels. I believe in a system that was created for human beings. So if you are an atheist or you don't believe in God, that's absolutely fine. That's just up to you. But for me personally, I don't really understand how a human being living on this planet is able to manifest successfully without recognizing that there is something at play that's creating things. So for example, you might call it the universe, you might call it the oversoul, you might call it quantum, I don't know, whatever it is that you call it, there is a system, a larger system at play to be able to call in the things that you want. Whether you're having your mind set towards a goal, whether that's working, whether that's a relationship, you have to have some level of belief that these things are going to happen for you, or you wouldn't pursue it. Whether that's going for your driving test, whether that's getting to college, everything's connected. So when people say they don't believe in God or they don't believe in anything, I just find that very interesting, because it's like, how do you explain that the planets and the stars and everything is just perfectly aligned for us to be where we are at this moment in time? And you can say, oh, maybe it's from evolution, but where did evolution come from? Okay, so for me, there has to be something there out there creating all of this for us to be able to use the system and to create and to move forward as human beings, because obviously the Most High, there's a creator, and we're creatives too. We want to do things, we want to evolve, and we want to explore. So that's one thing. So if you have a problem with me using the word God or Jesus or whatever, just substitute that word for something else. Even with Mina, she's the same way. I've noticed as well, that's what drawn me to her, is that she says the word God. She doesn't really care if people believe in the word God or not. That's what she believes in. So if you are an atheist, just prepare to be offended by the word God, but I'm trusting that you lot are, well-rounded adults, and you can substitute that word for something else. If you don't like God, use universe. If you don't like universe, just use something else that you're comfortable with, okay? And I'm also going to offend many Christians as well. I'm just being honest, because most Christians, from what I have seen, which I find very, very baffling, Christians don't believe in manifestation, or they think it's evil. And the reason I say this is because manifestation is literally all throughout the Bible. I had a conversation, sorry, I'm going to get into a bit of a ramble, but I had a conversation years and years ago when The Secret came out, and when I was working at that time, we was talking about manifestation, and a lady that I do like, she's a really lovely lady. She was saying how manifestation is evil and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, how does that make sense? Because the reason why I said, how does that make sense? Because I said it's the same as prayer. If you are praying to God or Jesus and you are having faith that you are going to be delivered the things that you are hoping and wishing for, and you are taking action in trying to make that happen. Example, she wanted to find a husband, she's learning how to cook. Why are you learning how to cook? Like, what's the reason you're learning how to cook? Oh, because you're preparing for something that's not happened yet, right? So it's the same thing, okay? So when I see people online or YouTube like manifestation's evil, this, that, and the other, I'm just like, do you not read the Bible? Do you not read it? Because if you're praying to God and hoping for an outcome that's not happened yet, it's in the unseen, so that doesn't make any sense to me, number one. Number two, one of the points I was going to make involved with Christianity, I understand where that concept of finding manifestation evil, because they believe that you're taking, you're trying to manipulate reality. Well, all the ideas that you have, if they are not against universal law, so if you're not trying to kill someone, you're not trying to take something that belongs to somebody else, you're not stealing, if it's not against natural law, it comes from God. If you have a desire to move job to better benefit yourself or your family, where does that idea come from? It comes from God. If you have a natural desire to provide a husband or someone that's going to help look after you, and you look after them and start a family, that's a universal law. It comes from God, okay? So I don't understand it. So like I said, I understand people thinking that they're trying to manipulate reality and not giving glory to God, or understanding where your blessings come from, and that can be a problem. But that's a conversation for a different day. It doesn't mean manifestation's evil. Okay, let's get onto the subject. Okay, so that's what I believe in. Okay, so I'll talk about what I want. Okay, so what I want in life at the moment, I'll tell you my starting point. I'm a stay-at-home wife and a mother. You know, I desire to have probably a business or a job where I stay at home, where I'm not feeling overwhelmed or spread too thinly. I want to generate generational wealth, not surface level wealth, which I believe that I possess at the moment from my husband's businesses, the things that I've invested in, you know, from when I was working. So surface level wealth to me just means where you can take care of yourself, your family, and you can help your grandparents. But I want generational wealth where I can look after where it's passed down to my grandkids and their grandkids and so on. Okay, so in this chapter, she's talking about your desires are not problems. So let's get into the nitty gritty. The first part of the book is just Mina talking herself in regards to the lifestyle that she's had, you know, the very tough upbringing that she has, you know, family members leeching off her, you know, her being a people pleaser, doing too much, so she had to develop a tough skin. And one of the parts in this book is Desires Are Not Problems. She's talking about your desires and trying to own your desires and not turning them into a struggle story, being on the struggle bus. And for example, I want to have a new job. Instead of feeling that desire and having fun with it and imagining yourself in that new job and enjoying the feeling of that desire, you turn it into a problem. How am I going to get this new job? Where's the job going to come from? Who's going to give me the job? I'm not good enough for the job. So that's basically you turning your desire into an issue when there's no issue. She talks about feeling into that desire, owning that desire being a preview from God, you know, as a next step of something that you should be thinking about, and something that you should be, you know, excited about, and something that you should believe that you have. Versus a problem when you start nitpicking absolutely everything about trying to get the thing that you want. But one of the standout points for this chapter, for me was, you know, not getting into the mindset that it's greedy or you're ungrateful because you want to achieve more in your life. Even if everything in your life is going well and you are happy and you are successful, the fact that you want more makes you feel like you're greedy and ungrateful, and that can block your blessings. Okay, so like I said before, I believe in God. I believe that God wants us to be abundant, because if we are not abundant, how can we serve God? If we're always thinking about paying our bills, we're in bad health, how can we help other people and help ourselves if we are struggling? Okay, so going back to being a Christian, this is something that I struggled with growing up. I honestly thought that being wealthy was a problem, or having money was a problem, you know. And even in First Timothy, you know, saying that money is the root of all evil, a lot of Christians mistake that as money is evil. Money is not evil. I've had to learn that money is neutral. Okay, what's evil is when people will do absolutely anything in their bodily power, you know, to invoke evil, to do absolutely anything just to get money. That is evil. Killing someone just to get money, people do it all the time, is evil. Okay, harming people, you know, being a horrible person, manipulation, just doing everything bad just to get money, that is evil. And doing that in the pursuit of money is evil. But money is neutral, it's not evil. And watching, you know, family members struggle with money and that they believe in God, it was always felt like a badge of honor to be a struggling Christian. And I was like, that's not me. I'm going to have money. I'm not going to be struggling Christian and then, you know, saying, oh, I'm struggling, praise the Most High. No, let's all be wealthy together. Let's all have money and build wealth and help other people and ourselves. We also talked about Burqa. I think it's an Islamic concept. I think it was originated in Pakistan. I'm not 100% sure. Another concept of manifestation. So it just sounds like a compound effect over time of all the good things that you have done, all the good things that your family have done, and you can call on it to increase your manifestations. This section is very, very interesting, and I truly believe that you should buy this book for this section alone because it's eye-opening. And in this section, she also talks about manifesting out. So basically, manifesting out is when you're running away from something. So she also used an example in the book and stating, let's say you want a new car. You can say, oh, I hate my car, so I want a new one. So the frequency of that manifestation is hate, right? So you're manifesting out, you're running away from something. So manifesting down is when you're in a survival position. So for example, when you're only asking for the bare minimum. So you want to pay your rent next month, instead of manifesting, multiple sources of income from different places or generational wealth. So you never have to think about bills again. You're just asking for the bare minimum. So the concept is that manifesting out is running away, and manifesting down is just asking for the bare minimum. Manifesting up and in and not down and out is appreciating the things you currently have and asking for more, instead of running away from a situation that you've created, but moving towards something more amazing and something that fills you with joy. And the ways to decrease the burqa in your life she was talking about was complaining constantly, being ungrateful, stealing from others to try and get what you want, being unhygienic and living in a dirty environment that causes you to have clutter of the brain and clutter of the mind. So just basically letting source or God or whatever you want to call it be your tool to manifest, be the only thing that you need, not manifesting through people, not trying to force the situations. So basically just having deep understanding, trust in the creator to manifest what you want. Also, Mina has some journal prompts that I'll be working through within the next week. So I've left them on screen for you to screenshot and work through them with me. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time, happy manifesting.